This is BNSH News. Benjamin Sandoval is your reporter, Nick Theodore is your co-anchor, and I'm Sim Sullivan, your anchorman. Our head story today is on the boycott on Los Angeles instigated by the USSR. Reports say their reason for boycotting the Olympics is for safety concerns of their athletes, believing that citizens of the USA would attack the athletes and guards would stand by and do nothing to help. But former Deputy Secretary of State Kenneth Dam has argued his point against these claims by saying there will be 17,000 security personnel. What more do they want other than to change Los Angeles into a miniature of the Soviet Union with no free speech, no demonstrations, no right for people to move around? But there is another idea saying that their real reason for boycotting the Olympics is in response to the boycotts the USA instigated at the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games in 1980. Our own Benjamin Sandoval covered that story back in 1980, and he's here to clarify the reason for this conspiracy.
Thanks, Sam. Well, in actuality, this whole conflict started back during the 1980s Moscow Olympics, when the U.S., along with West Germany and other democratic countries in Europe, decided to boycott the Games, causing them to be the least participated ever in Olympic history. But this wasn't the only conflict going on between the U.S. and Russia. For you see, President Jimmy Carter decided to embargo all grain sales to Russia from the U.S. He also ended the SALT negotiation, so obviously we pushed their buttons.
So it seems we did much more than just boycott the Russians, as all of this is in response to the Afghanistan invasion back in 1979, which is still continuing to present day. Now we're off to co-anchor Nick Theodore to shed some light on this topic. So, Nick, how does this relate to the boycotts?
Thank you, Sam. These boycotts are in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979. Afghan officials requested Soviet help containing the Mujahideen, or freedom fighters. The USSR and Democratic Republic of Afghanistan were in direct conflict with the Mujahideen, who were financially supported by the US, UK, China, and Saudi Arabia. As quoted by President Jimmy Carter, "This invasion is an extremely serious threat to peace because of the threat of further Soviet expansion. Aggressive military policy is unsettling to other peoples throughout the world." The initial deployment of the Soviet 40th Army included an airborne battalion and 2 motorized rifle divisions under the command of Leonid Brezhnev. The UN opposed the Soviet invasion, leading to the US and allies supplying weapons and training to the Mujahideen. The next year, the Soviet troops occupied Afghanistan in hopes of pacifying the country, but starting in 1980 to present, in 1984, Soviet forces have begun the Panjshir offensives to control the Panjshir Valley. The Soviets are currently still fighting in Afghanistan. Here's a short clip our news team has assembled for us. That footage was from the Mujahideen and Soviet forces. As you can see, this is no small problem. This is a big deal. These boycotts are a major sign of distrust between the Soviet and U.S. forces. This may not seem like a big deal, but countries rarely boycott each other. especially for things as big as the Olympics. What's your opinion on this, Sam?
Well, I think that if the USSR had never invaded Afghanistan in the first place, none of this would have happened. I mean, the facts are all there. Russia invades Afghanistan, and we decide to stand up for freedom and democracy. But hopefully in the coming years, this Cold War hurly-burly will die down, and we can all resume our regular lives. This is BNSH News, and I'm